week. Indoor and outdoor seating available. Call Shalane, our on-site coordinator, to schedule your special event.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a 4-letter word.
I think we should hire more people.
Doc, late for a meeting.
Hey, we need to build a home office. We're adding another bathroom.
We need a warehouse.
I can't imagine how we do that.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to.
We're back. It is Thursday, 10th day of August, 2023. Thanks for starting your day with us here on the NCW Live channel. It's my sincere wishes that you ended your day with us last night. With the evening news, I am Dan Kuntz on this 10th day of August. Nice, pleasant morning, 64 degrees, a little breezy. The cold front that came in yesterday will begin to exit our area today. It'll be gone altogether by Friday about noon, and then we start cooking. And for the first time this year, triple digits. A distinct possibility by the middle of next week. We're in for a heat wave. It's on the way. All those details are coming up. Busy day in the bullpen yesterday. We got some news for you. In sports, the hottest team in baseball, the Seattle Mariners. 7 in a row. They've won 9 out of the last 10, 15 out of the last 20. This is kind of like last year's Mariner team. They really caught fire in August and September and clinched that playoff spot. Mariners playing good baseball. Apple Sox season came to an end. Not a big surprise. The Harbor Cats are good. They had to go up to Victoria. They lost. Details from Storm and Joel Norman. It's Thursday. Pause for Pets. For the first time ever, we have a horse. We have a horse on Pause for Pets for the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. I kid you not. And we're going to replay the interview I did with Mark Harley, NCW Vets Serving Vets, popularly known as The Bunker. They have their headquarters at the Harley Center on the north side of town. Mark's a good guy. Wanted to give him some love. We're going to give him some love in the rear half of the program between 7:30 and 8. And let's begin. We got a lot to get to today. Let's not waste any more time. The Wenatchee Heights camera says hello. A lot less clouds today. We hit, what did we hit yesterday? 85. That's below normal. Our normal high is 88 degrees. We have not hit 100 yet. Now, it looks pretty good like we're going to. Point of reference, we did get to 99 one time last month. So we got close to 100, but we haven't gotten to triple digits yet. Last year, we got to at least 100 degrees 10 times. Last year. 2 years ago, 2021, we got to at least 100 degrees 10 times. And we go all the way back to 2020. We got to at least 100 degrees 5 times. We haven't gotten to triple digits yet. Trust me, we are next week. Let's check in with Lake Aniat from our Arundel Rock camera. That is a beautiful view there. Of course, the sun is blocking, the sun's not blocking anything. The contours of the earth is blocking the sun from glistening on Lake Aniat, but it will be doing that shortly. Good morning to our friends to the north of us. Beautiful view from our Rock Island camera. Haven't used this one in a while. There we go. High above Rock Island. You can see the whole town. You can almost see Payne-Bowen Memorial Airport. Good morning to Rock Island and the golf course. I will be visiting you shortly. One big high bank of clouds over Mission Ridge and up to the lake we go. Bear Mountain says hello to you when we say hello to Bear Mountain and a good swath of Manson and the north shore of Lake Chelan on this Thursday. Did I mention it's going to get hot? I think I did, right? Temperature is going to start trending warmer. Now today, one more day of below normal temperatures. Again, the cold front that came in yesterday is still with us. It will be slowly exiting the area today, but that means a little wind, about 10 to 16 miles an hour. We'll be mid-80s anyway. The wind will be done and dying down overnight tonight. By Friday, very little wind to speak of with a high of about 90, well, 88. 89. We'll be to 90 on Saturday, and then we really get going. By Sunday, a ridge of high pressure is going to be just booming right there. And from Sunday through most of next week, it's going to be hot, triple digits, a distinct possibility on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, possibly spilling into Thursday. We've been talking about this all week long. It is coming. If you don't like the hot weather, maybe it's a good day to give your air conditioner a break. If you haven't had your air conditioner off for a while, maybe today or overnight tonight, just turn it off and let it rest, clean out the filters, because you're going to need it for sure starting on Sunday. That's the weather. It's 4 minutes after the hour. The news is 2 minutes away. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
At Collins Fashions, personal service is our trademark. Our stylists love to assist our customers with great fashion choices like Tommy Bahama, Karen Kane, Tribal, Nick and Zoe, Habitat, Liverpool, Brighton handbags and jewelry, and many more. Whether you're going on a great vacation, hitting the beach at Lake Chelan, or the mother of the bride and groom, we want you to love what you wear. Collins Fashions in downtown Wenatchee, your personal shoppers.
Hi everybody, Dan Kuntz alongside Jesse Coble from Alpine Air. My heat pump there's like steam coming out of it. It's making weird noises. Is this something I need to be concerned about?
No, Dan, that's normal operation. Refrigeration technology steals heat from the outside, transfers it to the inside, and it creates frost on your heat pump. The defrost cycle melts that off, which creates steam and a little bit of noise.
That makes sense. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you.
Experience memories that will last forever on a Sun Chaser pontoon boat from Bob File Boats and Motors. If you're looking to get out fishing with your buddies or just enjoying time on the water with friends, a Sun Chaser pontoon boat is a great choice. Owning a Sun Chaser is more than just an incredible feeling of freedom and exhilaration. It's about taking that indulgence to the next level. See the full line of Sun Chaser pontoon boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Well, looks like our surgery patient is feeling better today.
Yep, I didn't need any oxy today. I thought I'd do a little surgery on the drain.
Huh. Do you need your pain pills anymore?
No.
Well, we should get them out of the house. There are places to drop them off.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I can do that right now.
And I will look at the drain.
Prevent opioid misuse. Find safe medication return options near you at med-project.org.
Quite a bit of sunshine, 64 degrees, quite a bit of sunshine, a little windy today, slightly below normal temperatures. Winds start dying down Friday. We start warming up Saturday. All of next week looks just plain hot. It's 7 minutes after the hour. One man was killed and 5 others were injured following a 3-car accident yesterday afternoon. This happened on I-90 about 10 miles east of Moses Lake. According to the Washington State Patrol, 30-year-old Derek J. Dupichland, of Warden, was driving a 2001 Acura MDX eastbound at about 2:15 in the afternoon when he attempted to pass a 2014 Chevy Captiva by driving on the median. The Acura returned to the roadway, struck the Captiva. The Captiva subsequently crossed the median into the westbound lanes of I-90 and collided with a 2022 Toyota Highlander. Dupichland was airlifted to Cadillac Hospital in Richland. He later died from his injuries. A passenger in the Acura, all 4 occupants of the Captiva, and the driver of the Highlander were transported to Samaritan Hospital in Moses Lake with unknown injuries. I-90 was shut down in both directions for about an hour and a half. The cause of the accident remains under investigation. Moses Lake police are crediting their brand new traffic camera system to help track and arrest a man suspected of a bank robbery, or tried to anyway. 42-year-old Charlie Gabriel Alanez Jr. allegedly walked into the Giza Credit Union in Moses Lake on Tuesday evening, handed over a note saying he wanted to rob the place. Now, police say he didn't actually display a weapon. He left without getting any money. Not only was he allegedly recorded on surveillance footage inside the credit union, but he recently installed Flock traffic camera system that was able to monitor the vehicle that Alanez was believed to be driving. He was taken into custody at a home on Carswell Drive. He's held in the Grant County Jail on a charge of attempted robbery. A trial can commence tomorrow involving that March standoff between police SWAT teams and the Chumstick Highway resident. Abel D. Wilkes is charged with second-degree assault for allegedly threatening his neighbor with a firearm, and that led to the heavy police response and the destruction of Wilkes' trailer home in the ensuing confrontation. He's been in jail since then. His attorney argued Tuesday that the police response occurred without a proper arrest warrant, and they asked that the case be thrown out. But Chelan County Judge Travis Brent ruled that because Wilkes is only standing trial for the alleged assault itself and not for his interactions with police, the case can go forward with jury selection commencing tomorrow. That lengthy closure of Highway 2 near Moses Coulee has been taking a serious toll on the small communities along the detour route. About 24 miles of that road washed out from that heavy storm back in July. Traffic's been rerouted through Mansfield, and apparently the Washington State Patrol says drivers are simply ignoring local signage because they're in a hurry to get where they need to go.
Hello, I'm Trooper Jeremy Weber, PIO for District 6. I'm here in Mansfield, Washington right now, which is the heart of the detour if you were normally going to take SR2 from Coulee City to Waterville. You're going to be rerouted to Highway 17 onto 172. On 172, you'll find the town of Mansfield, and when you're coming westbound, you'll see there's a hairpin turn that comes to the right. Where the yield sign is, it's there for a reason. We're having a lot of people that aren't paying attention to the yield sign and going straight without yielding the right of way to the traffic on the right. There has not been a collision yet, but there's been many close calls. We're asking you as you come into town, watch your speeds, which is 25 miles in this area, watch the signage, and be safe.
Chelan County courts are not going to pay for further psychiatric reassessment for a Wenatchee man who's about ready to be sentenced again for a rape and armed robbery. Thomas D. Aranda has been in prison since his guilty plea. That was back in 2009. He was one of 5 people who robbed and assaulted a house full of people after a drug deal went wrong. Aranda, who was 16 at the time, sexually assaulted one of the victims. He's serving 27 years. But the State Court of Appeals ordered him to undergo a new sentencing in part because of his age when he committed that crime. Chelan County Judge Kristen Ferreira ruled last week that the courts wrongly authorized about $5,000 in payments for Aranda's mental health evaluation and other services, and they won't pay anymore. No date for the resentencing, by the way, as yet to be scheduled. And finally, the Wenatchee School District voted Tuesday night to join a lawsuit. It's a big lawsuit against social media companies such as TikTok and Snapchat. The lawsuit is brought on by the France Law Group, who filed similar litigation against e-cigarette company Juul and, quote, focuses on and raises awareness about the damage to young people caused by social media companies, end quote. Superintendent Corey Callahar said the district received roughly about $140,000 from the Juul lawsuit, but he also said that figure is before lawyer fees, and the district hasn't quite heard about what that end amount will be after those adjustments. Like in the case against Juul, there is no upfront cost for the district to join. The Quincy School District is also a part of the lawsuit. They joined in July, saying they hope it will pressure media companies to revising policies regarding youth and social media. That's the news at 12 minutes after the hour. It was a busy day yesterday. I think it's going to be a busy day today. You want to be an informed viewer? We think it's important. Watch the news. At 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, you can watch it on TV right here on this very station. We also have it available on our stream, where whatever we're broadcasting live on TV is always being streamed concurrently on our website. And our news will be on our website and our Facebook page and our YouTube page at 5 o'clock tonight. And if you want to get a hold of us, by golly, get a hold of us. When we come back, highlights of the hottest team in baseball, and we hear from Joel Norman as the Apple Sox season comes to an end. Sports in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
The 2023 Grant County Fair is happening August 15th through the 19th at the Grant County Fairgrounds in Moses Lake. Hundreds of animal exhibits, a huge carnival, and more than 25 food vendors. And fantastic music with Michael Ray, August 17th, with special guest the Olsen Brothers Band. August 18th, it's Ned Ledoux with special guest Jeremy McComb. And on August 19th, Grammy nominee Lupito Infante. It's Grant County's annual party. For more information, go to gcfairgrounds.com.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Check out ClubProCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
Sports a quarter after the hour. Emerson Hancock looked really good in his major league debut. The big dumper, Cal Raleigh, delivered the go-ahead blow. Seattle sweeps San Diego, the final last night. 6-1, Hancock gave up a run in the first inning, then settled down. He struck out 3 over 5 innings. He says having Cal Raleigh behind the plate helps a lot.
The first inning was kind of tough to settle in for sure. Just trying to slow things down, trying to find a rhythm, trying to get things going. And then, Cal did such a good job of just sticking to what we talked about and slowing me down and just making pitches when we had to. And once I get to probably about the third inning, that's when it just felt like pitching again. Things slowed down. You're just doing what you always do and go from there. The first thing I can think of is the fans, is the energy. As soon as I walked out of the dugout, you could feel it. You could feel it in the bullpen. You can feel it when I walked in and when I took the mound. So credit to them. They've shown me nothing but support and love, and just makes you want to go out and get a win for them. It just means everything. You think about it. I was here in 2020 3 years ago, and to think about everything that's changed between now and then, the things that I've gone through. I just got drafted. Everything, the expectations were high, right? And you have a little bit of struggle, have a little bit of adversity, but you just keep working. You surround people around you that are going to help you. The Mariners have done such a great job of that, and so many people kind of in my circle that have done that too. And to have this moment, have the debut, have a win, it means everything to me.
It was a tight game. It was tied 1-1 going into the bottom of the 8th, and then a 5-run rally sparked by Cal Raleigh.
3-2 to Cal. Julio at first. High fly ball, deep right field. Get him, baby, that is way gone. Hey now, Cal Raleigh. Cal Raleigh does it again. It's 3-1. Mariners here in the 8th. Wow.
Talking about him being out in front of the breaking ball. He finally had one he could light. Exit velo of 110, 450 feet. That is crushed.
Cal Raleigh, yes indeed.
Yeah, he got all over that.
That's going to plate another run. A bullet to the get by Ty France. 4-1 Mariners. Ty France, ding dong. Breaking ball, center field. That'll get down. Here comes Ty getting a wave on. He's going to score. King Marlowe, cha-ching. 9th man to the plate. 2-2 pitch. That's going to get down. Here comes Marlowe, touching up at third. He's going to score. Another run on the board for the Mariners in the 8th inning, and they batted around. It's 6-1 Seattle. Pitch to Grissom. He got him. Time to celebrate. 6-1 Mariners. Lot to like about this one. How about this? The Mariners' 7th consecutive win.
Mariners are golfing and swimming and goofing off today. Then they welcome the Orioles to town. It is Felix Hernandez weekend. He's going to be inducted into the Mariners Hall of Fame before Saturday night's game. All right, to the scoreboard we go. Oakland uses 5 pitchers you never heard of, and they beat Texas. Shut them out, as a matter of fact. 2-0. Houston breaks open a close game by scoring 4 runs in the 8th inning to beat Baltimore. Dusty Baker becomes the 7th winning manager in Major League Baseball history. It was win number 2,159 for Dusty. And Shohei Ohtani gets his 10th win of the season for the Angels. He allowed 1 run on 3 hits in 6 innings. The Angels knocking off the Giants. Seahawks get to tackle somebody other than themselves tonight. First game of the preseason, it doesn't count. Vikings are at Lumen Field to kick off the preseason, 7 o'clock tonight. Coach Pete Carroll says tonight is an important step to see how well they've been preparing over the last 3 weeks.
Running and hitting. Get these guys out there, really get the full speed stuff. This is, we want these preseason games to give us the chance to make sure that we're at that mentality and technical side of what we need to do. We'll find out how, what we need to work on and all. But we got 3 full weeks to do this, and almost 200 plays to get it done. So that's what the preseason games are really important to us.
Drew Lock's going to see a lot of time at quarterback tonight, so we're told you can watch the game or not. It's a free country on King 5. For the Apple Sox, their season came to an end last night in Victoria. Harbor Cats beating them 4-2. Andrew Monson of the Apple Sox was throwing a no-hitter through 5 innings. He had 6 strikeouts. Evan Canfield came in the 6th inning, and that's when things went sideways. Here's our good buddy, Stormin' Joel Norman.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox fell to the Victoria Harbor Cats 4-2 to be swept in game number 2 of the North Division Series. The Apple Sox season coming to an end. They got a great effort on the mound from Andrew Monson as he went 5 hitless and scoreless innings, and no one had scored yet until the 6th inning, but it was the Victoria Harbor Cats who broke through with 3 runs, all on 3 extra base hits.
Left-handed hitting second baseman out of Fresno State. And Piricello drives one into the right center field gap that will be extra bases. Off the Victoria News sign, and he is going to be waved to third base. Should be there. There is a throw, and he is in underneath it. The tag from Brandon Ponce, not in time. Shoop in to face Canfield, and he will drive a ball into the left center gap that is going to score a run and is going to lead to a double for Hudson Shoop, who has been money for the Victoria Harbor Cats all season. Trip Clark with a drive into left center. That is going to split the gap, and in fact, it's gone. Trip Clark will take a trip around the bases. Trip Clark, a 2-run home run. Hudson Shoop touches home plate. Trip Clark with the salute as he comes near home plate. The entire dugout is out to celebrate with him. One of the top hitters on the Wenatchee Apple Sox, been a full season guy. And he hits a line drive into right field past the diving first baseman, Trip Clark. It is going to easily move the runner to third base, and ball's going to get away and allow a run to score. So the 0 is off the board. 1 strike, top of the 9th inning, 2 outs, and a solid base hit past the shortstop, Shoop, that will score the 2nd run for the Apple Sox, who are making a game of it. Wilson's Transportation, the sponsor of our playoffs. Harvey with a ball into the air that is going to be in the glove of Jesse Brown in about 3 seconds. And that will end the series and end the season for the Wenatchee Apple Sox and push the Victoria Harbor Cats into the next round.
The Apple Sox had 37 wins in the regular season, tied for the most in season history over the regular season records, but they could not advance out of the first round. Victoria will go on to the North Division Championship game, hosting it on Saturday, and the Apple Sox head into the off-season. The 2024 season will begin in June of 2024, and stay tuned to applesox.com for information on it. For the last time in 2023, with your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you, Joel. As far as the rest of the playoffs, let's look at the scoreboard from our friends at Les Schwab. Victoria will take on Bellingham. For the WCL North title Saturday, the Bells sweeping Kelowna 5-3. Corvallis stays alive with a 4-1 win over Cowlitz. That was in Game 2 of the WCL South Division Series. And Portland advances to the WCL South title game. They beat Ridgefield in come-behind fashion. The final was 10-6. The only Game 3 of the first round of the playoffs is going to be tonight in Corvallis. The Knights host Cowlitz at 6:35. And those just some of the games that people are playing at 23 minutes after the hour. It's the middle of August. It seems like for the obscure holiday, It's the perfect, it falls right in chronologically. Today is Lazy Day. Lazy Day. I was going to look up the history of Lazy Day, and I just was too lazy to write it down. You know, it's one of those days where you just don't do anything. There's nothing wrong with being lazy. If you work hard or you have a significant endeavor that is going to take up a lot of time and a lot of attention, be it physical or mental, you need to take the occasional lazy day just to recharge the batteries. So today is your day to move forward to today in history. It is the 10th day of August. If you've ever taken a business management course, they still teach this. I think it's called the Vasa syndrome, because it was on this date that the warship, the Vasa, was launched from Stockholm Harbor, the King of Sweden, one of the biggest, nastiest, most powerful warship ever. So we ordered this ship built with lots of guns on the deck and armor and everything. He says, we want the Vasa to be unbeatable at sea. He designed most of it himself, and his expert said, this thing ain't going to float. You got all these guns up on the deck. It's going to be super top heavy. We're going to go out to sea, and the first gust of wind is going to go right over that. And the king said, nerds to you, build it. Build it. And so this incredibly powerful armed vessel on her maiden voyage in Stockholm Harbor got about 400 feet out. A very insignificant wind, maybe 5 knots with the sails up, caught it. The upper structure of the hull, as I mentioned, was so top heavy, and it didn't take much at all. It just went bloop and sank. They dug it up. In fact, the Vasa is the #1 visited tourist attraction in all of Sweden. It had its maiden voyage 395 years ago today. It lasted about 3 minutes. Let's move forward. You know, mail goes pretty slow during, 1776. We declared our independence on July 4th, 1776, but it wasn't until August 10th that word got back to Great Britain that, by the way, we've declared our independence. It takes, back in those days, it took about 8 to 10 weeks, depending on the weather, to sail from North America to England. It takes a while to get there, you know, and they got there and they said, they did what? They declared independence against us? How dare they? Spoiler alert, we won, they lost. States' birthdays, here's the state flag of, and I'll let you guess. Take a look at that, just a little bit. Can't really tell by the flag unless you really know your flags. Happy birthday to, are you ready? The Show Me State, Missouri. Entered the Union 202 years ago today on this date in 1821, Missouri the 24th state. At one point during the Great Depression, Missouri had 18 electoral votes in the Electoral College. Now they just have 10, and my guess is in 7 or 8 years they will have less than 10. The most unique fact about Missouri, and you know, in the middle of the Midwest, fairly conservative area for the most part, Missouri has the most permissive alcohol laws of any state in the Union. It's not even close. Virtually any retail business can sell liquor of any kind, beer, hard liquor, it doesn't matter, all types of alcohol. There are no open container laws. You can sit in the passenger seat of your car and drive all over Missouri and suck down a beer. Only the driver can't have an open container. It is not against the law to be intoxicated in public in Missouri. It's not against the law. You can drink in public in Missouri. It's not against the law. Think about that. You can grab your ice cold beer, and if you grab an ice cold beer and start walking up and down Wenatchee Avenue sucking down the beer, the police are going to find out about it. In Missouri, they can't do anything about it. Happy birthday, Missouri. 202 years old today. James Smithson was an Englishman who stipulated in his will that if he died without any heirs, all of his money would go to the United States so the United States could start an educational institution. Well, he died, and he left $500,000, which in the 1840s was a lot of money, and thus was born the Smithsonian Institution, which opened its doors on this date in 1846. William Smithson, the Englishman who funded the Smithsonian, never once visited the United States. You have to go, if you're ever in Washington, D.C., there's a lot of touristy things to do, but the Smithsonian has to be near the top of your list. And by the way, the Smithsonian now, as is then, is free. The Smithsonian Institution opened on this date in 1846. We talked about this yesterday. One day after 5 people were killed by Charles Manson's cult, which made Los Angeles pretty nervous enough as it is, Lino and Rosemary LaBianca met their maker in a very violent way. Here's a contemporary report from Jack Smith of CBS News.
The latest murders were discovered during the night. The bodies of a man and his wife found in their home. Lino LaBianca, a supermarket owner, and his wife had both been stabbed to death, repeated stab wounds. On his body, the word war had been carved in the chest. Then, with blood, the killer had scrawled on a refrigerator door the words, "Death to pigs." Hoods had been placed over the heads of both victims. With daylight, police searched the premises. They found no evidence of robbery, no suggestion of motive. A baffling crime and bizarre. The bizarre circumstances of those 2 murders last night were strikingly similar to the 5 murders at a home in Bel Air a few miles away 2 days before.
If you've ever seen the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, came out during COVID, it's pretty interesting. It's not a documentary, but it's a pretty good movie, and it centers around the events on August 9th and 10th, 1969. To baseball we go. It was on this date in 1995, it was Ball Day at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers and the Cardinals, almost a sellout, 53,000 on hand, and everybody who showed up got a souvenir baseball by the Los Angeles Dodgers. And well, in the bottom of the 7th, things started going a little sideways. A couple of disputed calls. Fans started throwing their balls out in the field. They got everything cleaned up, and then everything was fine. And then, well, in the bottom of the 9th, Raul Mondesi strikes out. The Dodgers were losing. He strikes out. He argued the call. Raul Mondesi got thrown out of the game. Tommy Lasorda comes out. He argues. He gets in their face. Tommy Lasorda. It's a hot August night in Los Angeles. Temperatures get a little heated. Tommy Lasorda gets thrown out. More balls get thrown out onto the field. And finally, the umpires said, this is just too dangerous. Everybody off the field. If you get hit by a baseball out of the stands, you could get hit. And the Dodgers have to forfeit to the Cardinals. They were losing anyway, but they forfeit. It was the first Major League Baseball forfeit since the famous Disco Demolition Night in 1979. The Dodgers have to forfeit because the fans would not stop throwing the baseballs on the field. And we all remember the events of 5 years ago today. That gentleman, his name is Richard Russell. He had, as it was later determined, some mental instability. You remember this story? He drove one of those little, as we show the footage, he drove one of those little tow trucks that tow airplanes around for Alaska Airlines. He was a ground service agent. Never flown a plane before in his life. He stole a Q400 Bombardier from SeaTac Airport. Apparently you don't need keys. And for about an hour and 15 minutes, he flew all over the Puget Sound area. 2 F-15 Eagles out of Portland were scrambled to intercept the plane. They talked to him. SeaTac Ground Control, they closed SeaTac, closed all the flights in and out while this was going on. He had some very interesting chats with them. He said, I got a screw loose, I will admit that. He had never flown a plane before in his life, didn't have a pilot's license. He learned how to fly a plane by playing video games. Eventually, Richard Russell, after doing some incredible, there's the F-15 Eagles scrambling to figure out what was going on. He eventually crashed the plane on purpose. Jeez. That was 5 years ago today. And we do birthdays. We always do presidents. He was a mover and a groover, and his name is Herbert Hoover. He was the 31st president of the United States. Everything he did was incredibly accomplished. He did everything very well, except the one thing he's best known for, being the president of the United States. He was the first president born west of the Mississippi. He was the first president ever to become a multi-millionaire before he became president. He was a mining engineer, made a lot of money. He, ironically enough, after Harry Truman took over the presidency after the death of FDR, the only living former president when Harry Truman was president was Hoover. So we got a hold of Hoover and said, can you give me some advice? So Harry Truman and Herbert Hoover really enjoyed each other's company, and yet Herbert Hoover and fellow Republican Eisenhower couldn't stand one another. Go figure that out. Again, Herbert Hoover was an incredibly accomplished man in everything he did except his presidency. He was born in the state in 1874. In fact, all of our birthdays today, our heavenly birthdays, if I only had a heart. The man who played the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz, Jack Haley, the actor, born in the state in 1897. Of course, the Tin Man was supposed to be played by Buddy Ebsen. Turns out he was allergic to the makeup. Jack Haley got the gig, and with it, movie immortality. Leo Fender, born in the state in 1909. The Fender Telecaster was the first electric solid body guitar. The Stratocaster is probably the most famous guitar ever. This guy invented both of them. Leo Fender was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1992. A very unique achievement because Leo Fender, the inventor of the most famous guitar ever, never actually learned to play the guitar himself. Jimmy Dean, the American singer, actor, and businessman, founded the Jimmy Dean Food Company. Big Bad John was the #1 hit for him in the early 1960s. He founded the Jimmy Dean Sausage Company in 1984. He sold it to Sara Lee for a bunch of money. Jimmy Dean, born in the state in 1928. And finally, Bobby Hatfield, one half of the Righteous Brothers, was born in the state in 1940. He and Bill Medley, his partner with the Righteous Brothers, had an agreement. On each Righteous Brothers album, each of the members would sing one song solo. Who gets to sing Unchained Medley? Bill Medley wanted to do it. Bobby Hatfield wanted to do it. They flipped a coin. Bobby Hatfield won. Bobby Hatfield is the only voice you hear on Unchained Melody. We miss Bobby Hatfield, who would have been 83 years old today. We're going to hear from our good friend Mark Harley from NCW Vets Serving Vets The Bunker. We got an opinion from Mike Mad Dog Minotti. But first, George the horse needs a home. It's Pause for Pets.
Hi, I'm Sergeant Stutzman. I'm Sergeant of Animal Care and Control. And today we are here to talk about the horse George. George is about 15 years old. He is getting all up to date with his vaccinations from the vet. George got to come and be with us after he was left out in a pasture, and now he's up for adoption. George is about 15 hands high. He's a Arabian cross. He's pretty friendly and he'll do anything for treats. So what we were told about George was last fall, so last year, he was getting trailered up from Montana area, and he was actually involved in a trailer rollover accident. He's been doing really good with trailering. We've been working with him a little bit just to get him used to it. He primarily is only ridden in a 2-horse slant load trailer, which he at first does get a little bit nervous. After we've walked him in and out a couple times, he gets in and stands. So that's really good progress. And you know, with horses and having trailer accidents, it can kind of cause some mental baggage. But George seems like he's really willing to learn and be trusting again. It's just going to take somebody to take time with him and practice trailering and everything like that. But once he's in the trailer, he rides really calm. He doesn't kick, doesn't move around too much. So that's kind of a little bit of history that we know on George. He eats really well. He doesn't seem to have any issues with gaining weight, and like I said, he will do anything for treats. So George has just been kind of hanging out here at the Humane Society, and he's looking for a nice pasture to call his own. If you guys anyone's interested in George, we are open from 11 to 6. We are closed on Wednesdays just to allow.
Pybus Public Market is on the move to make parking, dining, shopping, and events an even better experience for our community. Check out the progress that has already been made towards the revitalization. The West Side Project is well on its way, but we need your help to get over the finish line. All donations are greatly appreciated and can be made online at our website or in person at the business office. We want to thank those who have already partnered with us. You are helping make the place we love a better place for our community to meet.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
I've waited too long, now I'm jumping back in. My pockets stay fat, but your wallet is thin. Let's go. Everybody sing the sounds like. If you know. We don't really want to wait too long. The fate grow long to sing our songs. Every day is another chance to make our stand. Seal the plan. Do you really know who you are? You're a shining star right now.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, regarding their success in earning money, I have heard people say that I've worked hard for what I have, and I deserve my financial success. Well, I do commend such folks, and I'm a believer in hard work, but let's be honest. A major factor in our financial success in this society is that we exist in a very blessed economic system. If it was hard work alone that guaranteed financial success, the richest people in the world would very likely be women in sub-Saharan Africa or some other such place. Now, let's admit it. Hard work may be a contributing factor in making a lot of money, but it is certainly not a universal guarantee that because I worked hard, I deserve to have more money than someone else. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
Ran into Mark Harley at the commencement exercises for Wenatchee High School. I had a grandkid graduating, and Mark said, can you give vets serving vets a little love? And I said, sure. And then we kind of didn't talk, and then he called me yesterday, and Mark said, we need a lot of love down at the bunker, and he had a certain urgency to his voice, and I said, get your butt down here, Marcus, and he did, and he is here from Veterans Serving Veterans, known as the Bunker, located, ironically enough, at the Harley Center. It's our good buddy. Haven't seen you in a long time. Mark Harley, how you doing?
Good.
You looking well?
Getting older.
So, yeah, well, we all are, my friend. What's up with the phone call yesterday? I didn't like the tone in your voice.
It just seems like people have forgotten where we are, what we do, you know, and how, and we're kind of losing money. We're getting a lot of new younger vets since the sandbox dispute is solved. And so we got a lot of need, but not a lot of input. But we're still working with them. I brought in a list of things that we've done here in the last couple months.
Well, before we get into that, let's give folks a general idea of what their nonprofit name is NCW Veterans Serving Veterans. Everybody refers to it as the Bunker, located at the Harley Center. So give folks just the Bunker 101, just what exactly you guys do.
The Bunker started 14 years ago. 4 guys, myself, Dwayne Broadus, Ron Bruno, Bob Ashford, got together, and Dwayne was already passing out food boxes for holidays and stuff. So we got together and thought, well, we need to do something. So we started sitting out in front of Walmart on a Saturday and begging for food, money. We'd end up with a pickup load of food and a pocket full of money.
And you thought, we got something going here?
We thought something going here, so let's keep this going. We applied and got a 501c3 number through the feds, got our state nonprofit licenses and everything, and just kept going. We begged at Safeway, Albertsons, back to Walmart. And people responded very, very well. And we've helped thousands of veterans. We have a filing system, and I know there's over 1,500 files for people that have come through the doors, and some in need, some not in need. But we have a process that we work through an information sheet and then proceed to help whatever we can.
Now, people think, is there a safety net? I mean, we have all of these things to help our veterans, whether they served in combat or not. Is that not working?
It is, but there's a delay. If you go to the government service, okay, maybe we can do it next month. Or you do it and we'll write a check next week or 2 weeks. That doesn't always, somebody needs money now. Their phone's getting cut off. Their car payment's gonna get repoed. Their house, their apartment, they have to move, you know. And I realize a lot of these people wait till the last minute, procrastinating, thinking, well, somebody's going to help me. Well, we will. We've done it, and then we wait for somebody else to step up, another organization, or and it's just a constant need for people for help. And it's amazing to me, like I just told you, I met a 98-year-old veteran Sunday. And there's that generation that I love to run into and talk to them. They don't expect you to appreciate them. They're heroes in my book, and we've had some as part of the bunker and lost them. They're on our plaque of fallen ones. I just really enjoy meeting all the different people. And we used to get a lot of people that just come in that weren't veterans. We had a lady that used to bring us cookies all the time. We called her the cookie lady, and we haven't seen her for a long time, and I'm trying to find out, but we never knew her last name.
She probably didn't want to know?
Yeah. So she was a sweetheart, retired teacher. And we had a lot of people that come in like that. But then it seems COVID has stopped it. We don't get a lot of visitors other than the core group that's in there all the time playing dominoes, cribbage. But to get other people in there that have interest in helping, that's our issue right now.
And you don't need to be a veteran. If you can show up and have a cup of coffee.
Yeah, we have the best free crappy coffee in town. That's been our theory since I started this thing.
I think it's in your Constitution.
Yeah,
the coffee is free. It's not the best, but it's free.
If you've been in the military, it's coffee.
Yeah, exactly. And we've talked about this when we were setting up for the deal. We've lost almost all of our World War II veterans. They would be well into their 90s by now. Korean War veterans would be into their 90s by now. Vietnam veterans such as yourself are into their 70s. And then we had a sizable gap of nearly 20 years before another armed conflict. And most people associate veterans with armed conflicts, people who actually put their lives on the line. And so you mentioned the younger folks are starting to
We're starting to see the need for these younger people with their health issues, mental issues. And it's typical, we call it the sandbox. Typical of any conflict, these guys come home screwed up. And the government sends them there, but sometimes the government doesn't fix them. And that's an issue. And it's always been a fight. And we are moving forward with that and progressing and getting people the VA is stepping up with different helping needs, psychiatric. There's a couple of good services here in town for these people that we recommend to them and send them on. There will always be. So I won a contest one time. They said, what would be your dream? And my dream was no combat veterans. And it'll never happen. We all know that. But that's, you know, until then, we have to help the guys that did it.
What is your relationship with the VA and those kinds of official governmental organizations that are supposed to be taking care of
with them.
Yeah.
We work with them a lot. They send us people sometimes because the VA is bound by their rules and they can't help this guy. He needs $1,000. Well, we'll step up. And there's other organizations that'll step up and help out too. Not as much financially as we have been able to because of the donation. We can't do anything without the public helping us.
You brought a list. You mentioned your activity journal.
Yeah, we try to keep an activity journal. Here we made a family problem solution, $900. A lift chair to a veteran in Waterville. We happened to have one that somebody brought in, so I delivered that up there. We buy gas cards and Safeway cards and at $50 issues, and we give them out a lot to people. I took a power lift chair to a gentleman. He landed in Normandy 3 days after D-Day. He was 102 years old. He lives out of Ephrata. I took it down there, and I could have stayed there for a day listening to his history. And his wife was 95. And she's just as spry as can be. But this lift chair, the guy doesn't weigh 105 pounds maybe. He loved it because it just stood him right up. And that's, people give those to us, we pass them on. We finished paying for mobile meals for a gentleman that's a Korean War veteran. Mm-hmm. He was the second Green Beret class that ever existed. And he lives here in town. Him and I have become pretty good acquaintances, but he didn't like the food that they were offering the place he was, so we bought mobile meals for him. We have several people that we helped paying for their mobile meals. I drive up to Bridgeport to see a gentleman that was a Navy vet that got burned out a few years ago when they had that fire up there. So I drive up and see him. And I started a subgroup as veterans visiting veterans.
I was going to say, because a lot of these veterans obviously have mobility issues. They can't. They can't make it to town. They can't make it to the bunker.
So if somebody lets me know, we'll go visit them. Mm-hmm. I've got one up to Aniat. I've got one Norm up at Bridgeport. This gentleman in Ephrata now. So I got a round that I can make and catch up with people.
You mentioned that occasionally the VA sends folks to NCW veterans serving veterans. How else do people end up on your radar? How do people know that you guys even exist besides appearing on this award-winning television?
Yeah, the vet hall, you know, if somebody happens to see somebody over there, the signs. Right. The signs veterans draws people, and so they'll send them to us. The clinic has sent people to us just because they said, well, I'm a veteran, you know, and so they'll send them on down to us. Chelan County Veteran Service Office, Tony and Trent, we kind of work together. Tony is now working for the state, and Trent's the county vet corps navigator, or county administrative veteran. And so he'll send people to us, and we'll send people to them because we don't do the paperwork. Mm-hmm. We'll tell them how and what they need to do, and we have some guys that are pretty good at it, so they'll check it out. But we send people to the county veteran service officers, Sarah in Eastmont in Douglas County, Trent and Wenatchee for Chelan County, so they can officially file the paperwork that people need to get started. You have to file an intent to claim. And so you have to get it started. And if you got an illegal claim, it'll go back to that time, but you've got to get it started. And that's a hard part for people to say, well, I need help. So then
it's hard for people to say that.
It is. I've been there.
Sure.
You don't want to say, well, you know, I'm really screwed up here.
It's pride. It's all kinds of
pride gets in your way. You're raised as a well, in my case, I'm raised as a man that can support and do what he has to do for his family. There was a time when I had my wreck and I was laid up and I couldn't do that. And it really bothers you. But you still don't want to ask for help. I had a knock on my door. That's how this all started. I had a knock on my door, laying in the hospital bed in my apartment. And I hollered, come on in. And it was a gentleman who is now deceased, veteran, brought me a box of food. It was Thanksgiving time. And I said, get the hell out of here. He said, no, you're going to take it. So between Thanksgiving and Christmas, I was able to get up. Then I drove and delivered the next batch of meals at Christmas. And got the same response from a lot of those people. I don't want help, but they do. So you have to swallow your pride. And if you've got a legal claim, go for it. You earned that. That was part of what you served for.
These gas cards, these lift chairs, these wheelchair ramps, they're not free.
No, we buy the gas cards, the lift chairs and stuff. Sometimes we get people, we have bring them down to us. And there's a gentleman in Moses Lake that has a repair service for those. So we kind of work with him. And he'll bring us one if we need it. If we have a couple extra, we'll take them to him, and then he can do what he wants to do with them. It's a big circle in this area of people that want to help people. We got people up in Okanagan and Omak that we work with, and sometimes I sit back and think, wow, we started out begging for a box of food, and what we've become is sometimes amazing to me.
Is there an immediate need now that's crept up in the last couple of months, that there's a specific client or patron that might need a certain service or good?
Right now, the biggest need is money.
Just money. Because money gives you all kinds of different options.
We have a food bank, and that's over by the vet hall.
Right.
And a friend of mine passed away this last year, and her family gave us a large amount for the food bank. So I renamed it the Kathy Gates Pantry. And so we still have that money feeding that group, and we give away a lot of food still. It's amazing. And then Stand Down's coming in August.
Yeah.
So we'll take every bit of food that we have in our food bank, box it up, put it on a trailer, and give it out at that. So then we're going to have a big drive to get back to the food bank. But it's a way every year that we can help with the Stand Down, participate and give stuff to them.
Are you at all concerned, and I hate to bring this up, Mark, this is Mark Harley from Vets Serving Vets, so we know it as the Bunker. Is there any concern that this organization is just going to peter out? I mean, I don't want to be a wet blanket.
No, I know a lot
I'm
of people,
concerned that
I'm not an elected officer anymore.
Right.
Because of my choice. I wanted to get other people involved.
And you've certainly done your part, but are you concerned about the future?
For 14 years I was there every day, and I still go when I get up.
Sure.
If I'm in town. I don't think it'll peter.
Okay.
I just don't think we got some dedicated people in there that'll keep going no matter what. And if we have to go out and get a job to get stuff done, we'll do it. We're still somewhat able to do stuff. So, yeah, I've had a lot of people say, well, I've heard the bunker's folding. No, the bunker will not fold unless I die. Then I obviously can't do anything about it. But as long as I'm breathing, I'll fight for that bunker.
So what my viewers, listen up, folks. Cash is great.
Yeah.
They're at the Harley Center. You can't miss them. They're right there. They've been there since day one. Drop by and say hi. They're I think 9 to 1 Monday through Friday.
8 to noon.
Okay.
But we're usually there by 7.
Right. Okay.
As long as the flag's up, we're there.
Right. And the coffee is free. It's not good, but it's free. There's a couple of guys there who will take your money at the cribbage board. Heads up on that. And you can just kick back and enjoy.
Yeah.
And
visit.
Yeah.
It almost looks like a museum. We've got uniforms from all services and all eras around there, and other memorabilia. So it's an interesting place.
Cut them a check. NCW Veterans Serving Veterans. Right, Larry. Tax deductible. They're a 501(c)(3). I want you to come back and see me.
I will.
In fact, next time what we'll do is we'll come down and see you.
That works.
Okay? Yeah. It's always good to see you. Yeah. Say hi to Brandon.
I will do that.
Yeah. And don't be a stranger, my friend. Good to see you, Marcus.
Good to see you, Ed.
Mark Harley from Vets Serving Vets, and we will be right back.
Come see how very different you will feel in your Bullfrog Spa.
D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee provides financial services for independent-minded clients working to secure their futures. Whether it's helping construct your personal financial, retirement, or estate plan, they start with a disciplined approach and straightforward advice. An individualized approach is rooted in the values, stability, and strength their company was founded on in 1935. With offices coast to coast and personal attention you deserve right here in the Wenatchee Valley, learn more about D.A. Davidson.
JDSA Law is a proud sponsor of these local event broadcasts. JDSA Law has been serving North Central and Eastern Washington since 1946. For over 70 years, their team of dedicated professionals has delivered quality, innovative legal services. JDSA Law partners with you to provide the finest legal advice and support as you navigate your personal and business challenges, your risks, and your accomplishments. JDSA Law supports the TV broadcasts of these local community events.
The skies are blue. It is 66 degrees, a little breezy up at Payne-Bourne Memorial Airport, where they keep track of these things. Wind out of the west-northwest at 15 miles an hour. Blowing really hard down there in Ellensburg, by the way. It's always windy in Ellensburg. 70 in Ephrata, 66 in Dryden. That's downtown Dryden. Suburban Dryden is 65 degrees, probably because of the orchards. I don't know. From the National Weather Service, the cold front that came through yesterday is going to start working its way out of the area as the day progresses, but that's why we have the wind, and that's why the temperature is going to be a few degrees below normal. Our normal high now is 88. That's starting to go down as we get down the back half of summertime. Clear tonight, still windy, overnight low about 59. Little leftover wind, but not much really on Friday. We'll call it breezy, not really windy, and a high of 88. And then our last day of fairly comfortable conditions on Saturday. We're talking about, highs right around 90, and then it's going to get hot as a big ridge of high pressure is going to park itself just off the Oregon coast. It's going to cook us up big time. Excellent chance of hitting 100 for the first time this year on Monday. And that's it for us. Have a fantabulous Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Living your best life and making memories in Tuscany. Home to gorgeous vineyards, historic sites, delicious food, and unusual adventures. We'll explore Siena.
Guys, right now we are at the Piazza del Campo.
And investigate the unusual.
These are the truffles that our dogs here have found, if you can believe that.
Then we're off to see San Gimignano.
When you're getting close to the vineyards of the Wenatchee wine grapes, which are only grown here, you know you're getting close to the
medieval city of San Gimignano.
And so much more.
Hello, darling.
Hear you, hear you. Welcome to Elizabeth Stanton's Great Big World Tuscany Adventures.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Stanton, and I am here in Florence, the capital of Tuscany, with my friend Jennifer Veal.
Hey guys, thanks so much for having me, Lizzie. We are